Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice. I am very intimidated to analyze this song. Not only does it come from the first heavy metal album to ever reach #1 on the Billboard 200, it also has a very sexual title. And I am a woman on the internet who tries not to be sexualized. But it's your most requested song, so let's get to it. Wake up. Nice. I want to look a couple things, but first thing I got to mention is right here. This looks like a picture from Metal Health Bang Your Head, which is awesome because that's the other song that I've analyzed by Quiet Riot and was really impressed by. Let's go back to the beginning. This is so far quite innocent, at least in the music video. So, though it does have quite a bit of suggestive lyrics. I like the bassiness of that kick. Immediately when he starts singing, "Come on, feel the noise," I think I'm secretly try not to blush every single time I say that word because I want to think. Yeah. Anyhow. Okay, keep it together, Elizabeth. Keep it together. Every time he sings that opening line, there's a nice vroom vroom sound. I like to think of it as the sound that I make with my 4-year-old, right, as we're driving cars around the kitchen floor. Yep, Mom. It is so fun to hear that sound really continually made. I feel that he's got that sound dialed in. That is not a true vocal folds kind of sound. That is something up above it. I would think that is very much involving the arytenoid cartilages. But I have seen that sound made with other things as well. So it's always hard to tell. And we need more research done so we know more. If you want to learn more about the research that's being done, stay tuned for a documentary that we're going to release later this year. But anyhow, we're going to keep going right there. I like the sound that he makes. Yeah. One more time, right on that. This is just such a prime example of an extreme metal vocal, the kind of thing that right there is one of the things we are specifically studying. That and full on screams too. That's so well controlled and consistent. This is fun. Look at that mask. I think that line is so funny. So you think my singing's out of time? Actually, no. It's been really fantastically in time so far. Really, really good. I think it's so funny also that he's there's this validation that comes, I think, for singers. And you're well, I'm making money singing, so I must be doing something, right? Not always true. But I like the way he has a little self-deprecating moment just a little bit later of I don't know why it makes me money, but it does. I don't know why. feel like this is much more than a sexualized idea, because this idea of feeling the noise, I think it's really inviting a community to celebrate the noise of metal. One of the things that can often distinguish metal from another genre is that there is more noise or inharmonicity in the music. And in the vocals too, right? This distortion, these kind of rougher sounds that we hear, or inharmonic sounds is another way to describe them. That's noise. That is one of the distinguishing characteristics. That is my 1-year-old, by the way. Meg's fantastic screams and noise. But this noise is one of the things that defines metal. And the idea that they're bringing is like that metal is good for you, that metal brings people together. I've seen it do this in so many ways too. And I think that it's an invitation for people at a concert to just feel the music and feel the positivity and the rush of dopamine that it can provide. I'm going to catch that transition. There's a remarkable amount of humility in these lyrics. I relate specifically to the "you think I've got a funny face" lyric, because that's literally one of the things that people want on thumbnails. Like, give me your funniest face. I don't care how many chins is in that photo. Give me your funniest face, your most disgusting face. And that's what people want. That's what they want to click on for this type of video. Oh my goodness. You have no idea how much humility is required when you're like, oh my gosh, I look ridiculous, but people like it. Anyhow, I relate to what I feel is like a lot of humility from our lead singer here. That's Kevin, right? Kevin Dubrow, that's his name. Look at that stance. Oh my God, hair. Wow, that was fantastic. That's that holler, I would say. It's like even more a holler than a scream. It's so connected to a lower spot in the abdomen. There's this really fantastic sensation that happens when a singer connects lower. It's essentially, it almost feels like an invisible string between the abdominal muscles and what's happening here. And those abdominal muscles are essentially restraining the diaphragm so that it doesn't just go up and splat air. Because if the air suddenly collapses, like it pushes all of the air out of your lungs into your vocal folds here, that's too much for the vocal folds to restrain, and then it just tends to crack, splat, blah. So anyhow, when you hear a singer go up high, especially, that's requiring quite a bit of restraint here. And often there'll be this extra engagement that happens in the abdominal muscles, again, restraining the diaphragm. The diaphragm only pulls one way. It goes down to get air in. And then if it just relaxes, it would be like whoosh, out. Instead, the abdominal muscles are like, no, diaphragm, don't go away. Don't let all the air out. And right here at this moment, you can absolutely hear this almost like a little groan into it. And that's what I associate as a feeling of connecting down low. My God, his stance. It kind of remind me a little bit of the Joker. Oh, no, I paused during a guitar solo, but look at the face. What is it with like fantastic metal singers and tongues? You guys, it's a thing. It's a thing. I also have a really long tongue, but I'm not going to have everybody like zoom in and analyze it on the internet, so I'm not going to stick it out at you right now. Not sexualizing Elizabeth, please. Something about that delivery just absolutely reminded me of Tim Curry in a Rocky Horror Show picture. There is a full analysis of that out there, by the way. One of the most absolutely wonderful things I've done an analysis of. Totally worth it. Though it was very, very, very long. I want to come back. I want to talk about his posture and his stances here. His face is wildly expressive, and I love it. All right, so very, very important to note, he's often bending his legs. One of the things that they actually warn you about is, especially for amateur singers or people who are like doing their very first big performance, don't lock your knees. There are so many accounts of people actually fainting, like even in choirs, where people will faint because they locked their knees during a long performance. I think it can also just be really helpful to bend your knees a little bit because that does engage your pelvis in a different way. I was talking earlier about those abdominals and the diaphragm. You're like, don't give up, diaphragm. Okay, so that your lowest muscles that are helping restrain that diaphragm from giving up, those are all the way down to your pelvic floor muscles. Yes, if you're like, oh, Kegels, yeah, that can be helpful. Needed them to push that one out. So don't sexualize Elizabeth. But having your legs a little bit bent, I think really can help with that position of the pelvis so that you can access some of those lower abdominal muscles a little bit better. Also, a lot of times singers really like to get into the stage. There's this sort of wonderful sensation, I think, of like almost like screwing your legs into the stage. And when you have that feeling of the power coming up through the stage to help support your voice, I think that can be amazing. I think that is very much related to breath support still, but the whole visualization of, oh, I'm bringing up all the energy through the stage and I'm going to deliver to the audience, it really works. So whatever works for you, do it. Just note, it's so common that we see lead singers in this position with really, really bent legs. You see a lot of opera singers, specifically with like one lunge forward, one leg forward, and they're like, ooh, and sometimes they have a bear claw handy. It's a thing. I think it's hilarious how he bends over and is like bouncing a leg too. I don't know if that's the best position, but it works for him. So good, so expressive. I love how flexible his range is too. I'm going to come back and stand by this idea of this is really inviting a community to essentially celebrate. And when you have a section like this that takes out a lot of the instruments and it goes to a chorus of voices, it is 100% asking for audience engagement. I think that Quiet Riot is amazing because of the way they brought more community to heavy metal specifically. I think that's one of the keys to why they became so successful. Simple melody everyone can sing along to. And they've been singing it lots. Makes it more sticky. Do you see how often he also has that horse dance going on? Look at that. Look at that. I mean, it's hard to avoid in one of those tiger leggings. I think I wore a pair of those for a murder mystery party once. Do not sexualize Elizabeth. Okay. The theme of today's video. He's totally doing a horse dance right there, just like Bruce Dickinson. Though his legs are a little bit locked. That's okay. He's going to bend them real soon. So many lawnmowers. Look at that horse dance. Let's have a little discussion in chat about expression in faces and expression in singing. I'm of the opinion that I think having a really expressive face is extremely helpful to having very expressive singing. And you see this a ton. I think in the United States, I think that there's a lot. There's something about the training here and probably the culture too that's like bring out, like just let a ton of feels out. You see it a lot in Europe as well. But I was talking with some patrons the other day. I was actually on Twitch streaming there. I do little short analyses there sometimes. And we were discussing how some Asian singers we've seen have a lot more still face. And this is definitely something I encountered when I was an exchange student in China as well. And I think it's amazing because I can hear so much feeling still coming through without as much facial expression. And this is not an always thing. This was like, in general, it seems that we have a lot more what some people consider overexpressive faces. And I think it's remarkable that I think it can be very helpful to a singer to work into their emotions and let it out on their face, and that will help them bring that emotion into their voice. But it isn't actually essential to do that. I've seen many singers get there without having this involved. So I'm curious, as a listener or a fan of a singer, do you want them to have a really expressive face? Are you like, does that not really matter as much to you? I'd love to hear your talk about that in chat, y'all. Please go. Boom. I like the hip wiggle. He has so much fun. Woo! That was a good dream, man. Slightly creepy. Fade out. Lots of chorus still, though. I made it. And I only was totally embarrassed like maybe 10 times. You guys, thank you so much for bearing with me as I really enjoyed this fantastic metal song that's helped pave the way for the fantastic metal community that we have these days. I am so grateful to be a part of that community and to have discovered just how fluffy and friendly everyone is. It's truly, truly amazing. So if you guys want to see some more analysis of metal songs that have fluffy, friendly feelings underneath, check out this playlist over here, and may you fall more in love with music every day.